Hello friends, this is tutorial number 55 of this C++ programming language tutorials. In this tutorial we will create one application. We want to calculating the area. Okay, and we will calculating area of triangle, circle, square and rectangle. Of course we need to input couple of variables. We will enter the triangle base and height, and also we will enter the circle radius. We will need a square side, and we will enter a rectangle width and length, and as output we will have the area of all of these triangle, circle, square and the rectangle. And okay, let us start with this application. First we will need a couple of variables. We need the variables that we will input, and of course the variables that we will calculate. Let's start. First we will need double, and we will need triangle base and triangle height, and also we will need triangle area. Okay, we will enter the base and the height, and area it will be calculating. Now we will need another variable. It will be a double, circle radius, and we will need circle area. We will input the circle radius, and area will be calculating. And we will for the area of square we will need square side, and it will be, in this case it will be an integer, and we will call it square side. And also we will calculate square area, and we will need a rectangle width, rectangle length, and we will calculate rectangle area. Okay, we have all of these variables that we need. It's pretty much good. And now we will need what we will need. We will need to enter these variables. Okay, base, height. We need to enter circle radius, square side, and rectangle width and length. But let's start with triangle. And we will do it in the main, in this main function. We will write enter, but we can start it from, okay, we don't need a new line because it will be the first output. Enter triangle base and height. And line, and let's input. We will input triangle base and triangle height, but we will need, just a second, we will need a greater sign, semicolon. And okay, we enter this. We will enter with this these two variables, and now we need to write. A statement. Okay, the area of triangle with base of and height of is. Let's write this, but we will need. It is better to use couple of stars. It can be in the new line. Semicolon, and We can use couple of stars again. Now we can use end line. And we can see how it will look like, but let's copy this and let's paste it. These statements of the area will be surrounded by the stars to look more prettier. Okay, and here we will write that statement: cout the area of triangle with base of and we will use variable triangle base. Okay, we will write semicolon and we will continue in the next line, and we'll write height of, and we will need triangle height okay, we can use semicolon here, and here we'll write is, and here we will use triangle area, which will be good, and we will use end line. Okay, we input these two variables and area will be calculated. Okay, in this moment we didn't define the area and we didn't calculate, but we can see just to test how it will gonna work. Enter triangle base and height. Okay, it can be 4 and 3.5. As you can see, the area of triangle with base of 4 and height of 3.5 is to this number. Okay, it is, we have this number because this is a starting position of the variable. We didn't define and we didn't calculating area of triangle, and because of this we have this this number. And okay, we here, I just want here first to resolve these stars. We will need a couple more stars to be, okay, at least 10 stars. Let's add 5 more stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here also we can add couple of stars, and downstairs we can use the same. We will see how it will gonna look. Now let's try again. It will be the same, but I just want to these stars be prettier. Okay, I need, okay, let's type 2 more stars here. Now we will see if it will gonna look better. 3 and 4. Now it's okay with the stars, pretty much good. And now let's now resolve a most important thing. We want to resolve the area of triangle, and to resolve that we will gonna use a function. Let's create one function. It will be, let's create a function here. It will be a void function. We will call it triangle, and we will have some local variables. It will have a double, it will be a base, local variable base, local variable height. All variables will be, or variables will be a double, and of course we will need area, and we will need a formula to calculate the area. It will be, we will use a formula. Area will be equals to base multiplied with height divided with 2. And let's try to call this function. Okay, we can call the function here we will input input will be here. After the input we can call the function triangle, and we will use all of these 3 variables. Let's use triangle base, triangle height, and let's use triangle area. But we need to use this function after we enter this base and the height. And now what should we do? Okay, will this work? We can test now. Okay, we expecting that we will enter all of these 3 variables and we will get the response, but let's try. Triangle base will be 5 and height, okay, it can be 3, and the result will be the same. Okay, I'm not surprised about that, because what's the problem? Now I will explain you. And of course we use this function, we define this function, okay, but this function we write 3 variables. But what 3 variables? We use a base, we use a height, and area. This is the local variables, and we call that function, and we use 3 variables: triangle base, triangle height, and triangle area. But this function, it needs 3 values, and what we gave to the function, we gave it 3 variables, but this area is not defined. Okay, we define we will define area here, but we didn't specify it, and this function, it doesn't recognize that. We need to remember to the lesson of the pointers. I just explained some basics about pointers, and we need to use them here. We need to define, to tell the function that we need to use in this area, we need to use a pointer. And this means that this area will be calculated. This is a local variable area, but with this pointer we are telling that it will be calculated inside, and also area will have a pointer. And now with pointer should be good. Okay, double area. Okay, it means that this area will be calculated here, and this is the calculation of area. But we also need to use a pointer. If we testing it now, it will not work, because we can try to test it, but of course we have an error. This is because, okay, this is the function, double base and double height. Okay, first double and double with pointer. This is a function. This third variable, it has a pointer. Third element of the function, it has a pointer. It means that when we call this function, we need to use double and double with a pointer. Okay, and now this function will recognize in this function, it will have triangle area, but it will be recognized with this pointer, and with this function we can calculate the area of the triangle. Now let's start. Okay, triangle base will be 4.9, and the height will be 3.2, and as you can see now the area of triangle with base of 4.9 and height of 3.2 is 7.84. And okay, I'm pretty much sure that you understand it. This is the I wanted to explain you better how to use pointers in C++. Okay, we could calculate it. We could use without pointers to use it without pointers and to write a statement. But sometimes we have a statement about these variables that we have, but we don't have the area and we want a text. And how we gonna calculate it? We will use a function and we will use a pointer with this. Okay, we give to the function. This means I give you two variables, and okay, it will be, and a third that will be calculated inside. It has a pointer, and we have this. We use these two variables to calculate the third one. It has a pointer, and with this pointer here, we told the function this variable triangle area will be this variable with pointer that will be calculated in this function. Okay, and this is just one example with triangle, but of course we will use also a square, circle and rectangle to practice this well. Okay, and now we finish, and also we have here warning that we have some unused variables, and let's resolve it. But I just wanted to show you with triangle how it works. Now we will continue. We will use a circle, and we can write it here. But before the statement we will need to input, and we need another statement. Okay, let's write cout, enter circle radius, and line, and we will input circle radius, and here we will need a statement. Let's separate it a little. Okay, all statements are inside these stars. I just first show you with triangle how it works, and now we will continue. We will write the statement for the circle. The area of a circle with radius of, and now we will write circle radius, we'll use semicolon, and we will write is, but we need a space, and we will use circle area. Now we will use and align. Of course we could write all of the statements for we have a square, but okay. Now let's create a function. It will be a void and it will be a circle, and we will have variable double radius, and double area, but area also will have a pointer. This is a local variables, but this is a function to calculate the area of circle. And inside here we will calculate, we will use a formula to calculate the area of a circle. But here I will need, before we calculate for this function, we will need a p number, and we need to use a math library. We need to include, we will include c.math. And now let's write. First, let's calculate the area. Will be equals. Now we need to use a p number. Just a second. It will be p, which will be a p number, and we will multiply it. Okay, we can write radius multiplied with radius. It will be a square of the radius, but we will use a pow function, pow, and it will be a radius. It will be a square of the radius. And with this function we will calculate the area of the circle. And now we have we call function of triangle. Here we will call function of circle. It will be circle radius, and we will need circle area, but also we will need a pointer. Okay, I will not test it. Let's write all of this. With this, now we resolved with this we will calculate the area of a circle. We will enter the radius. We will call the function circle, and we will have calculated area of the circle. Now let's continue with square, and here we need another statement. It will be enter square side and we will input square side, and also we can write one more statement, enter rectangle width and length, and let's input these variables: rectangle width and rectangle length. And let's write the statement, two of them. First, let's write statement for square. The area of square with side of, and let's write square side, and here we will write is and we will call square area, and line, and we will need one more output for the rectangle area. The area of rectangle width of, and now we will use rectangle width, and we will write and a length of rectangle length, and we write is, and let's use rectangle area, and we will use end line. Okay, we have a statements resolved. Statements resolved for all of this. We have a statement for triangle, for area of circle, for square, and for the rectangle. And now we need to create two more functions, to calculate the area of square and area of the rectangle, and we just need to call them to complete our application. And let's do it. Let's start with we need a square function, and inside we will have double side, and also we will have double area with pointer. But my mistake, square side, these variables are integer, and that means that I will need integer here, and because we are using integer, okay, square area of square, okay, it is side, it will be side multiplied with side. We will not use pow here because we have integer, and let's write area will be equals to side multiplied with side. And with this function we will calculate the area of square. And let's create one more function. It will be void function, a rectangle will be the name of the function, and we will have inside width, which will be an integer. We will have one more integer, all of this will be integer, length, and we will have integer area with pointer. And area will be equals, pretty much simple, a width multiplied with length. Okay, and with this we created a function to calculate the area of the rectangle, and we need to call these two functions. Okay, here we will call previous two functions. Let's call the function of square area, and we will inside we will use square side, and square area, and square area will have a pointer. And let's call the function rectangle, and inside we will have, just a second, rectangle width is the name of the variable. We will have rectangle length, and we will have rectangle area, and area will be with pointer, semicolon, and the end. And this how it looks like our application. We write all of the statements. Okay, we have our variables, we input the variables that we needed to input, and with these functions we define all of these functions to how to calculate the area of triangle, circle, square, and the rectangle. And we called here, after we input all of these variables that we need to input, after that we call all of these 4 functions that we need. And after that we have a statement to write all of the data of the triangle, circle, square, and the rectangle. And now we will just try to see how it will gonna work, or will it gonna work properly. It won't. Let me see where's the problem. Square area cannot be used in the function. Let me see where is the problem. Just a second. Square area. Okay, I need a function of square. The name of the function is square, and I write it a square area. Now let me see if we have. Okay, we don't have any more errors. Now let's write. Okay, triangle base will be 7.5 and height will be 5.5. Enter circle radius, it will be, I don't know, 10. Enter square side will be 7. And rectangle width and length, okay, it will be 7 and 8. These are integers. And let me see what we will get. Okay, the area of triangle with base of 7.5 and height of 5.5 is 20.62. Okay, this is good. And we have the area of circle with radius of 10 is 314.159. It's okay. And the area of square with side of 7 is 49, which is good. 7.7 is 49. And the area of rectangle with width of 7 and length of 8 is 56, and this looks pretty much good, I think. Okay, this stars looks good. Now we can try to test it again to see again if it will works properly. Okay, let's build and run again. Okay, it will be 3.75 and 2.25. Circle radius will be, okay, okay, this is a double, we will use 6.8. Square side will be 5. And width and length, okay, it will be 11 and it can be 24. And now let me see the result. Okay, the area of triangle with base of 3.75 and height of 2.25 is 4.21. Okay, this is good. The area of circle with radius 6.8 is 145.2. This is good. And the area of square with side of 5 is 25. This is pretty much good. And the area of rectangle with width of 11 and length of 24 is 264. This means that this application works perfectly fine. Let me close this. Okay, this is pretty much good, and I really hope that you understand if you didn't understand well my tutorial about pointers, okay, in this I just explained you the basics, but in this application you saw how can we use pointers, and how and this is pretty much if you were with me with my tutorials about Turbo Pascal, this type of void functions are completely the same as a procedure. You remember on the Turbo Pascal when we have, for example, variable a, local variable a and b, and we have a variable c that will be returned, and this is completely the same. This type of function is completely the same as a procedure in Turbo Pascal. If you were with me with Turbo Pascal, for you this will be easily, but if you didn't, I'm pretty much that you understand here what's important. Okay, we are giving two variables, and we have a third variable that will be expected to be returned. It's not an it's a void, it doesn't have any value, but this means the third variable will be calculated inside. And if we want to define, okay, for example, we use this, we have a circle, we have a variable local variable radius and the variable local variable area, which will be defined inside. And here when we call that function circle, okay, circle radius will be the first variable, and the second variable that will be calculated inside is the circle area. And this is pretty much good, the same thing we had with all of these functions. And I wanted to calculate all of these areas to you practice and to learn it well. And now to you learn, the point is to you that you learn well how to use pointers in the C++. Okay, I'm pretty much sure that you and really I really hope that you like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You will have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.